against the high-flying Rochester Knighthawks at the War Memorial on the Deuce.
During back-to-back 2-6 seasons, the Saints were quickly becoming the laughingstock of the MILL. Certainly no laughing matter for a team that had never had a losing season before. But the Saints are sick of laughing, and they have a new direction, all because of a brand new head coach and a new attitude.
Vinnie Pfeifer has brought a new enthusiasm to the New York Saints. We're all excited playing for Vinnie. We have the talent, and it's just a matter of us going out there and getting it done now.
One constant on a team with a tradition of great defense is former All-Pro goalie Sal LoCascio. As a 5-time team MVP, he doesn't like to lose.
I know personally that I'm back to, and I know New York is back to prove where we belong.
The Knighthawks have suffered the summer of discontent, knowing they were just one goal from winning the North American Cup.
It's a tough pill to swallow, and I think maybe sometimes you think maybe you should have just been blown out.
Anytime when you're in an overtime situation, especially sudden death, and things don't go your way, you always wish you had it back.
Can superstar Paul Gait and the Knighthawks put to rest last year's bitter loss? And is Charlie Lockwood ready to march the Saints into the playoff contention? You're looking at a sold-out War Memorial Coliseum, and they are charged up for the second season of major indoor lacrosse league action for the Knighthawks here in Rochester. They take on the New York Saints in their home opener for the '96 season, a special ESPN2 production of our season of indoor lacrosse. This face-off will feature two of the greatest players. Charlie Lockwood, 95 Mill Rookie of the Year for New York. He was also their leading scorer last year as a rookie. And Paul Gait, the Mills' all-time points leader. He can do it all. Impossible to stop one-on-one. These will be the goalies that'll be very critical to the outcome of the game. LoCascio for New York, he is the Saints' all-time saves leader. And Dietrich will be trying to stop all the shots from New York. He is the 95 Mill save leader in percentage and all-pro balloting. So there's a little bit of a grudge match as we get set to drop the rock. The New York Saints in the blue, silver, and white. The Knighthawks, teal, purple, white, and we are underway. 15-minute quarters.
Withholding.
From the War Memorial.
Withholding now, underneath it.
Tim Murray's who you'll hear, our white hat ref. They'll be giving us some of the calls throughout the game. We'll get you as close as possible. Leif Elsmo along with Quinn Kestick, Christy Lee, they're on the bench. We'll get to them throughout the game. I'm going to correct you on that. Referee with the mic is Bill Fox. He was the head referee tonight. This is Silcott for the Knighthawks as they set up their first offensive charge. It was a big save for Dietrich that gave the ball back to this team who loves one-on-one. As we watch Driscoll, number 93, get it in close. Gait! Used to handling it. Watch Paul Gait come from off the ball, comes across the crease, beats his defender, lunges out, and through the old 5-hole. 1-0, the Knighthawks. Paul Gait is so used to controlling the ball. Great move by Powless, the coach of the Knighthawks, having him off the ball in the first possession. Driscoll finds him cutting behind the play, and he dunks it past LoCascio. Early score for Rochester. Last year, in this identical matchup for the home opener for Rochester, it was a 12-8 win for the Knighthawks. Got them off to a 2-0 start in this league. Now you see Darren Lowe bring it down low. Watch the shot. Seremet, he finds rope. It's a 1-1 game. Quickly, 2 shots, 1 by each team, and the offenses are really pushing it into the middle of the cylinder. You're going to see a much different New York squad. The crowd gets quieted very quickly. We're looking at them get it inside. Seremet with a high percentage shot that bounces off the pipe down and behind Dietrich. New York did not have high percentage shots last year. Vinnie Pfeifer wants to correct that. They're doing things by the book, according to the Canadians who play this box game so well. Major indoor lacrosse league action now. New York with the second straight possession. Game tied at 1. New York moving into the cylinder. This is Gordon Purdy. Home rope! Absolutely stunning the crowd. Rochester off to a 1-0 lead, and then in lightning fashion within 1 minute, Seremet. And then a goal right in the face of Dietrich. And it was Steve Huff who got that goal. Now for the faceoff, a 1-goal lead for New York. Vinnie Pfeifer has his first lead as a head coach. He was a goaltender for the New York Saints. Moved into this starting spot. We focused on him, and we'll focus on him more. He's a big story, but look at the shots coming right in the cylinder against Dietrich. The defense not stopping the good shooting. That was Charlie Lockwood. We featured this good-looking rookie from last year, the leading scorer returning. And right now, New York is getting tremendous shots. The rebound off the initial shot, he wraps it around and beats Dietrich in the corner. Too many shots in the cylinder, and Powless will have to call a timeout soon if they can't get control of their defense. Lockwood, first goal tonight. What a great start for New York and Vinnie Pfeifer. 3-1, an early lead with 12:30 left. We have not even spent 3 minutes of this first quarter, and we've scored 4 goals. These are two of the best goalies from last year, but so far they are getting covered. Knighthawks stepping up the defensive pressure. New York comes out McEntee from CW post looking to the cylinder, all the way out to Sombrotto. Vinnie Sombrotto took off last year. He's back this year for great leadership experience. Fast break is Gait. He's up top. Can he pick it up? Not cleanly. There's Vinnie Sombrotto trying to play the inside Gate. He's got rope. Paul Gait on the fast break is the scariest sight for any goalie in the league. Watch Vinnie Sombrotto try to match up physically. Nobody can do that. Paul Gait, 6'1", about 220, and he just buries that one. Each goalie being shell-shocked. Gait gets 2 goals tonight. Now his team down by 1, 3-2. Not even 4 minutes gone in the game. Backcourt violation against New York. Timeout in the game, 3-2. New York stunning the Nighthawks, but they fought back. Paul Gait's got 2. New York wins by 1 right now early on. Tonight's major indoor lacrosse league game of the week on ESPN2 is brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. And by STX Lacrosse Equipment, the name in lacrosse sticks, equipment, and apparel. Welcome back to the War Memorial Coliseum. I'm Lee Felsman. We talked about Paul Gait. We know he'll be a focus for the defense of New York. But there are a lot of other scorers on Rochester that can give you problems. Peter Park is one of them. 6'4", about 225, impossible to match up with. He's a finisher down the lower right-hand side. But New York, they want transition. They want speed to play the game. You've seen it already. You've seen them running gun into the face of Dietrich. Gordon Purdy is about as fast as they come. And Q, he wants to initiate from man down.
Purdy's a real catalyst on the man-down unit. He likes to play the point position. And when the Nighthawks get over-aggressive with their power play, look for Purdy to sneak out for the home run pass for LoCascio. You know, New York's got a new attitude. 2 keys, their speed and the hitting. So far, we've seen a lot of quickness from the New York in their half-court offense. They like to push it. They like to play a full-court style, up-tempo type game. If they get into the half-court, real slow plodding game, that favors Rochester, because as Christy Lee will tell you, Rochester's got some big players physically and some outstanding scorers.
Quint, you're right. Barry Powless definitely wants to slow this tempo down. He wants the half-court 5-on-5 plays, set up his offense. Okay, he knows he's going to get Paul Gait doubled and triple teamed, although Paul has done very well so far with 2 goals already. But that leaves the other finishers. We talked about Peter Park. There's other big guys like Chris Driscoll, the second leading scorer on the Nighthawks and the leader in assists. Also, you've got Duane Jacobs, 6'1", 205. He's tough to beat. And Rex Lyons, watch out for him. He came on strong in the second half of last season. 2 very contradicting styles of lacrosse being played here tonight, Lee.
seen each team try to enforce it. Here's New York with the transition. Moments ago, you saw Driscoll try to get it inside to Paul Gait, and he was double-teamed. 3-2, New York leads at this halfway point. Actually, we're only 5 minutes into the first quarter. O'Keefe. Pat McCabe, the great defenseman for the Syracuse. We'll be talking all night about how Vinnie Pfeifer has put some discipline in his team. They play now the way it should be played, at least technically. Do they have the talent? Well, they think they always did. Dietrich picks up the ball, looks for the outlet immediately. Off to Driscoll on the far side, can't pick it up. Here's some of the swarming riding by New York. 3 players on Driscoll, and he's nailed. Landing picks it up, a good acquisition this year for Powless. Landing cuts into the middle, looking for Benedict to give it back. Benedict with a great left-handed shot, very quick. But he's up against a very quick team in the defense of New York. He's trying to dump it down to Lyons. Christy Lee talks about Lyons being a finisher. Look at 4 players rocking them into the boards. And Panetta gets it back, gives it to Sombrotto. And now to their great goalie, LoCascio, who will set up the clear. They change lines at this juncture. It's either clearing it away from the box to get the fresh line on. Here comes Tony Millen. He fakes the feed, looks across, watch out. Huff can't find rope. He had the full cage and couldn't quite pick the corner. Dietrich came out to cut the angle. This is Gordon Purdy, the Australian Flash. Shooting left-handed, that's the kind of thing Vinnie Pfeifer doesn't want. He came down to the goalie's right, shot left-handed. There's no angle, and Purdy got it stuck back in his face.
Pick it up top. Pick it up top.
New York resets. Darren Lowe from Brown, the All-American, brings it in. He's a rookie in tight to Seremet. And Chugger snuffs the ball. They call.
Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Go, let's go. Back it up. Nothing there. No foul. No foul. Let's go. Go on. You lose the ball. Let's go.
3-2 to score. New York still leads. And Sombrotto's a big part of the leadership. Quick Keswick's got him on the sideline.
Steve, you guys look in a half-court sense like you're technically a completely different team this year.
Yeah, this year we're trying to get away from the one-on-one game that's always been our trademark. So we put a little more of a motion offense in, and hopefully we get the picks and the cuts down the middle where we have a better shot to score.
New York looking like a Canadian team out here tonight, Lee.
Look here, they're really doing things well as far as being in the right place. Here comes Huff. Can Silcott catch him? Huff looking for rope. He's got it. Crowd absolutely quieted on that one. It's a 4-2 lead. Steve Huff with 2 shots so far, 2 goals, and right in the face of Dietrich. That is exactly the textbook fast break we talked about. When Quint talked about the fast break, here it is. Huff way out in front. He checks for Silcott. Silcott can't catch him. Makes the high fake, dumps it low, beats Dietrich for the 2-goal lead. 8:36 left. Huff, a great player for the North Carolina program. This is his 3rd year and really picking up some great skills. But you can see already huge dividends for New York, who always had talent, but had really no great organization in that talent. McEntee can't pick it up. It'll be a backcourt violation. LoCascio's waving them all back, saying, get back. Steve Huff's been a huge scorer. Q, how's he feeling down there?
Hey, Steve, I didn't play last year, and now you opened this game with 2 quick goals.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, you know, to get back into it. Last year I missed because of an injury, and pretty pumped up to get back into it.
Leaf, New York's got 3 guys, Sombrotto, Borges, and Huff, who didn't play last year, who should contribute quite a bit in '96.
And Quinn right away, Rochester answers. They're getting in tight, too. That is one of the fresh faces, Cam Bomberry. This guy played at Nazareth, and he has tremendous stick skills. Watch him come in with a left-handed shot. Ducks inside, gets the stick where he wants it, fakes, gets the goalie coming up, and then dumps it down behind LoCascio. Cam Bomberry, his first goal in his MILL career. 4-3. They come back to within 1 with 7:40 left. This is a huge scoring game. 7 goals, and we're about halfway through the first quarter. Can't hold it up. I don't believe it'll be about a 40-goal game if they kept up this pace. Don't forget, New York last year could hardly score. We're looking at Vinnie Pfeifer right now. He has to be happy with what his team is showing. They didn't know what the kind of dividends all that work was going to pay for them. They were hoping it would pay off, and they've got to be pleased with quarter number 1. Sudan inside trouble. Big save by LoCascio. Sudan breaking the cylinder. Ryan Lemon's part of the offense of Rochester. Christy Lee has got him now.
Brian Lemon, you're part of this offense for the Knighthawks. Talk about getting things going. You're only down by 1 goal. Big goal by Bomberry, but are you surprised at the Saints coming at you like this?
No, not at all. They're a good club, and they're really running, and we got to pick it up a little bit and get our motion offense going, and a little more movement, maintain possession of the ball. That's our key.
Brian Lemon, Leaf.
Christy, that was a great question, and it was a polite answer, because the fact is New York is shocking Rochester because they are playing differently than they ever have. Rochester has to read that, adjust their game, and they're doing it. 4-3 game, but New York is in the lead at the moment. Peter Park initiating low, out front. Silcott can't pick it up. Here's Huff. Silcott now tries to get the ground ball. Can't. New York got the ground ball there, but checked out beautifully. Watch in, tight, finisher! No shot at all. Park wrapped it around behind his back. There was absolutely no angle. Push call. Give the ball to New York. They've got a 1-goal lead with 6 left in the first quarter. Stay with us. We're back at the War Memorial Coliseum. Lee Felsbaum, Quint Kestenik, Christy Lee. Our ESPN2 production of Major Indoor Lacrosse League action. Week 2 of our season for '96. The home opener for Rochester. Neither team has played yet this year, and right now New York is showing a great new look. They've got the ball. Dietrich picks it up in his crease area. He's protected. 4-3 the score. 5:30 left in the first. Now they're down to that 5-on-5. Driscoll, 35 points last year. He's wide open in front, off the iron. The pipe saved LoCascio. Goes out of bounds, and they will have possession. Lucky fan with a souvenir. The War Memorial is packed. Sellout crowd is only 7,000 plus. Not big for a major indoor lacrosse league standards, but this place is rocking. It's as many as they can hold. Picked up beautifully right in the middle of the cylinder is Reggie Thorpe. He is a defensive specialist out of Syracuse. Nobody is tougher defensively. All the way down, initiating to Lemon. Wraps around for the corner, and Lions couldn't find it. Right away, LoCascio looks for the outlets. Both teams now leery of the fast break. Rochester loves the fast break because they have great finishers. New York loves the fast break because they have tremendous speed. And they are doing things a little smarter this year to give them better shooting angles. Timeout called by first-year coach Vinnie Pfeifer and his assistant Norm Engelke. And we'll take a short pause right now. Stay with us. We've got 4:30 left in the first. This is a real dogfight. 4-3. New York leads by 1.
So, effectively what we're really looking to do is to set goals for each individual and better define their role so that holistically we can all move forward. And if you've got a group of people that are all pulling in the same direction, we'll get to where we want to be much faster. If we're fractured and pointing at each other, and we're not willing to step forward and address the problem, then you're going to have a difficult year.
He's a little bit Jimmy Johnson. He's a little bit Pat Riley, but he's all New York Saints. This team looking good out of the box. 4 goals. Don't forget, their leading scorer last year only had 12. This was the stinkiest offense in the league last year, but with great athletes, they look tough right now. That offensive push, turned back. Here's Thorpe giving it up to the middle. The great transition. Paul Gait, he tries to split 2 people. Can't do it. Look at it, he's still holding on. Gait down low. Barry could not put it away. Paul Gait had 2 players hammering this player. He had the ball and kept possession. Christy Lee on the sideline for Rochester.
Real quickly, Steve Dietrich is a lot smaller in goal this year than last year. There have been some rule changes about padding. Also, he comes into the season 20 pounds lighter. The coaches here are hoping what he's lacking in size, they'll make up for in quickness.
Well, Christy Lee, I think you'll agree that both of these goalies are a little bit rocky at the start. The offense is right in their face. 7 goals scored in the first 7 minutes of this game. That's a ton. Gordon Purdy gets hammered by Thorpe. That'll be a push call and goes back to New York. Good look at Paul Gait. This is the contact of major indoor lacrosse. I tell you what, it's not persistence. Cross-check legal in indoor lacrosse. Unlike the field game, you can't hold the stick out with that span in between and use it as a check. Trying to fix the shot clock.
Hold on to the shot clock, reset. Hold on for the whistle, okay? Hang on, guys. Hang on, hold on for the whistle.
Big D, little O, that's New York's story recently, last year at least. Look at that, last in goals, assists, and points. The offense just wasn't there, but the defense still held up second, and that was based mostly on Sal LoCascio. He had a very disorganized defense in front of him. This year, the organization, as you heard Vinnie talk about, should be there. That should pay huge dividends. Both goalies a little rocky early on, but both of these goalies were 2 of the best last year. Dallas Elliott, the other one, Elliott, LoCascio, Dietrich, all within 1 point in save percentage, about 78. Paul Gait. 2 players can't defend him, and he rips it. Been fighting a back problem. He's got a disc that was swollen last year. Look at him take on 2 players, bounce off him. He's got tight end proportions and just rips it past Sal LoCascio. Gait with a hat trick already. 3 of the 4 goals by Paul Gait. He is impossible to stop. That's how we described him, and that's how he's played so far. Game tied at 4. First time Rochester's been back to a tie since it was 1-1. Paul Gait's the big boy, and Christie's got him.
Paul, you just tied the game. You already have a hat trick in the first quarter. Does it feel good to be back? And talk about playing against one of the best defenses in the league.
Well, they're playing real well defensively, but I'm not happy with the play so far. Really getting hurt on loose balls. They're coming up with a lot of them. We're not. They're getting open in front of the net. Our defense is weak. We need to pick it up.
Last year, you had some problem with your back. How does it feel?
Oh, it's 100%, well, almost 100% now, and I feel a little more agile, and that's what I get when I have strength in my back.
All right, Paul Gait, Vinnie Sombrotto with the score for the Saints. That means our Nighthawks are down by 1. Lee?
5-4 the score, and Christy Lee, that's good news about his back because you can see what he does when he is healthy. He couldn't run this hard last year, but here's the outlet transition that we just missed during the interview. Sombrotto comes down. He is not a goal scorer. The transition paying big dividends, and Vinnie Sombrotto off last year after a world tour with the field team for the United States, back to show leadership for New York. Now they have the 1-goal lead. New York really has taken over since Paul Gait opened up the scoring 1-0. It's been New York 3 in a row, then Huff. Here comes Vinnie again, in close, O'Keefe, Scott Rowe. This offense has been reborn. What a tremendous launch into the crease for O'Keefe. Showing a lot of skill. He'll get the ball in tight, just go right in front to expand his shooting angle. He clears the crease, good job, but around Dietrich for goal number 6. Dietrich goals allowed last year in the 11-12 category, 11-12 area, and I'll tell you what, they're on a pace to score about 24 goals, so this pace has to slow down. Gait, cross, Driscoll, right in the chest of LoCascio. Swarming defense for New York, and that's what Vinnie Pfeifer wants. You see a lot more New York Saints on the ball. Another souvenir for the War Memorial crowd. They love their major indoor lacrosse here in Rochester. Gordon Purdy now with the ball as they change lines. Seremet working the left-hand side in front, and good angle cut down there by Dietrich. Came way out of the goal, which he tends to do. He can be burned on that with a couple passes.
You may want to see a big stick.
Maybe Quinn can talk about that later. He, being a four-time All-American, coming out of the goal can be risky. Gait, one-on-one against Purdy. He'll roll inside the cylinder. Three players down to Driscoll. And a great arm save by LoCascio. Driscoll picks it back up for a shot clock. You've got 30 seconds to put the ball in the net each offensive push. Purdy and Dietrich with a huge save. I'll tell you what, this kind of speed is really going to take its toll. But right there, we've got Driscoll ripping home goal number 5. Back to within 1. Driscoll is parked down there waiting, just turns and fires. The ball can go about 100, 105 miles an hour. Driscoll took every bit of it there with that step. 35 points last year, first goal tonight, but he was right behind Gait. A Gait that was not 100%. I can tell you tonight, he looks like he is. And as we get into the game, we can have Q and Christie talk about the conditioning, because I've never seen a game this fast, and I don't think Rochester can keep up with New York 4 quarters at this pace. First quarter comes to an end, and it was a beauty. 6-5, New York is leading, but both teams ready to go 4 quarters. Don't miss great Atlantic 10 Conference basketball. It's Monday, January 8th, 9:30. Tom Mees and Dan Bonner bringing you Xavier at Temple. Great talent and great action. Don't miss it. At the War Memorial Coliseum, I have never seen a faster pace than the first quarter of this game, and I've been around this league for 10 years. 6-5, and racehorse action. It's switch dance. This is Holland Beck. He cannot beat LoCascio. New York will now be going to our left. This is Panetta. Second quarter just starting, and they are off to the races. This, I think, definitely favors the New York team that is fit and wanting to run. Timmy Sudan. Behind the back, looking inside for the shot in the cylinder. Benedict cannot get a good shot. That was right at the chest of LoCascio, and that one, he bounces off his feet. LoCascio really starting to get saves and bunches.
Wait for the whistle!
Early in the second quarter, 1-goal lead as that illegal pick is called. Illegal pick called against the Knighthawks. First quarter stats, you can see loose balls all leave, but that doesn't begin to show you the racehorse possessions by New York. Shots in favor of New York, but last year they won that big time. Faceoffs, that is a big lead, because last year they did not do well on faceoffs. They don't have anybody on their team with a better than 500 record coming back from last year.
Okay, your ball, put up top.
We've got an injury problem on the New York sideline, and Quinn Kesnick has that story.
Tim McEntee, last year's second leading scorer for New York, is out right now with a torn calf muscle. They're going to take him in the locker room at halftime. They'll make a decision there. I don't expect to see him in the second half. That will hurt New York because of depth. These teams each have 15 players who are dressed, and they split up into three lines with 5 players on each line. So, Lee, that might be a factor late in this game. Someone's got to run 2 shifts.
They've got their first 5-on-4 chance right here. We'll see if New York gets a better play. That one looked like it was off the pipe. And a lunging save by Chugger. He's got no stick. He can still play in the goal without his stick. It's off to the left. You can see it lying there. He's got to get back in. He's out now, but here is possession to the Knighthawks. They lose it. It goes back to LoCascio. And we've got a 2-minute penalty now against Charlie Lockwood for a high sticking, so he will even things up. This is McEntee from CW Post. This is one of only 2 players in the field that were on the All-Pro team at any time for New York. LoCascio was All-Pro 4 years, McEntee 1 year, and Fox will set us up here with the penalty.
I get the ball, Timmy, go ahead. Go to the corner, I get the ball.
All right, he just told us about the high sticking. It's Charlie Lockwood in the box. As Fox repositioned. So now teams will be 4-on-4. And eventually, Rochester will have a 30-second power play. That's in about a minute and a half. But right now it'll be 4-on-4. Opens up a lot. New York should do well. And so will the stick handling skills. And Bomberry. Bomberry getting hammered in the face. Tries to go to the corner. He's looking for a call. Didn't get it. The rookie's learning that's a pretty tough league. Dietrich way out. Nobody in the goal. Watch out.
We're tied up, guys. I'm picking the ball outside. Come back here.
Possession goes to New York. Still 4-on-4. New York benefits from the extra green space with their speed. But, fight inside. Bomberry getting wrapped up right there with Sombrotto.
Stop, knock it off. No more. No more. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. Let's go. Cam's in. Timeout.
The Ditches will take a timeout and sort out this penalty. Obviously, things are getting tough. Sombrotto, Vinnie Pfeifer doesn't like this. He doesn't want to lose players. He lost 1 to an injury. He can't lose more to ejection. We'll come back in just a moment.
back at the War Memorial where the Knighthawks are down by 1. We're in a 3-on-3 situation. Coach Powless, first of all, let's talk about the run and gun of the Saints. Are you concerned about how quickly this game is progressing, and can your team keep up?
Well, we knew coming in that they like to push the transition. So, and one of our things that we want to combat that with is just try to be more patient on offense. And right now we're just trying to get in a little flow right now. So,
how can you slow them down?
Well, basically we're trying to make them play 5-on-5.
Right now we're 3-on-3, and we're going to talk to Leap about that.
Well, Christy, we had another penalty situation. 2 more guys in the box. They are playing 3-on-3, and they'll stay that way for another minute. Ernie comes in, looks for the open net, gets behind, back door, easy slam dunk for Vinnie Sombrotto, but he could not collect it.
Pick it back. Time count violation. Nighthawk ball.
All right, so it was a time violation.
Pick it back.
Shot clock violation. They didn't hit the 4x4.5-foot goal in the 30 seconds allowed. So they bring it back, clear it now. Now 3-on-3, can't collect, watch out New York. Purdy's got great speed, 1 man to beat. Purdy coming in, looking for the fake. Now he'll separate the field and players. I thought he had a great chance to go to the net. Didn't take it. Vinnie Sombrotto looks back door. Purdy can't get it past Dietrich.
New York ball.
Reggie Thorpe.
New York ball.
Reggie Thorpe, number 11, with that push from behind on Purdy.
Guys, I need you to sit check.
Took away the fast break. Stick check is what he's calling for. Look at that hammer from behind. Sudan picking up the energy level. He's grabbing low. Watch out. They're going to call a push. Hold call.
Hold. Back to New York.
Hold call. Sudan, you saw how he wrapped his arm around Lowe. Kevin Lowe, number 16, All-American from Princeton when they had a tremendous run of national championships. Second year in the league for him. His brother joins him this year from Brown. Players trying to go between.
No, withholding. Right there.
All right, withholding the ball. They cupped it to their chest. Here comes Paul Gait. With all this extra space, it's impossible to stop Paul Gait. They've got to clear out, give him a little room. He can't be stopped. Back door. Can't beat LoCascio. Peter Park. Too many men on the floor. I think it's the ball.
Hold. What do you got? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too many men. Put a guy inside. Thank you.
Too many men on the floor. A technical mistake that's going to cost Powless and his team. They had a great chance to really spread the field.
Too many men on the floor. It's 2 minutes to delay the game. 2 minutes to delay the game.
They don't have enough spots, folks, on the penalty board for me to keep track of this. I can tell you that Bomberry and Park are in the box for Rochester, and Sombrotto is in the box for New York. Vinny, tough on his team. He means business. Miko Red Arrow, Walder, the only Canadian, Beardsley, prized rookie, and Brian Picola, the #1 pick in the draft, all sitting down tonight, and they're not because they're great players. He is enforcing discipline. No practice, no game. And it's paying dividends. His team is doing exactly what he wants so far. They've got a 1-goal lead, 6-5, 11:23 left. 2 more players on the field. Bomberry comes on, the Knighthawks, and Steve Sombrotto goes over and lets Brian O'Keefe come on. Now it's a 5-on-4. Bounces off Dietrich. O'Keefe couldn't pick it up, and Sudan gets off the glass. Now we got a man-down situation. I'll tell you what, Paul Gait is just as dangerous man-down as he is in even strength. They've got to try to cut him off from the ball. Sudan has it now. They're going to try to keep away from Paul Gait, who's being shadowed by O'Keefe. Sudan all the way across to Driscoll. They got a piece of it. Good defense by Seremet, who got a piece of the shot by Driscoll. Paul Gait is spending more time on the floor. This is not what Powless wants. See Paul Gait, well, he's way left, and he's playing defense right there in the middle of the screen. They don't want to waste Paul Gait. And Vinny called a timeout. Sombrotto had a chance to burn Paul Gait with a little bit of energy there, but he called a timeout. Let's try to get his play. 6-5 the score. 10:36 left, and Sombrotto calls the timeout for his play.
No, this is what I want. Steven! Sombrotto!
You go to the middle. Okay, let's even play the middle on man up. They're giving us a 3-on-2 up front. Okay? You gotta be smart on your shots, though. He's coming very far out. Look, and Brian. Okay, Eric, you may get the shot. Okay? Put your stick out. Eric may get the shot. Right. Eric, you may get the shot.
Stop, guys. Pseudo. Tell Randy you guys gotta come quick. All right?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Nice job, Sal. Good recovery, babe. Nice job. Let's go.
There's a man who appreciates good goaltending.
Hey, Norman.
Former goaltender for this team, Vinnie Pfeifer. We've got 10:35 left in the second quarter, 6-5 lead for New York, and they have an extra man play. Dietrich gobbles up that shot. Pfeifer had just called a timeout to set up that play, and that was not a high percentage shot. Sombrotto taking it. Steve Sombrotto from the very top with Dietrich eyeball to eyeball with it. Down low, they can't get a shot in. O'Keefe picks it up, looks for the outlet. Steve Sombrotto all the way up to Panetta, who's got great size. From Hopkins. Panetta looking for the trailing player, can't see anybody. Now they'll reset the 5-on-4. They've got 20 more seconds of a power play. They'll have at least one good shot. The last one was not really at the high percentage they want. Up top, here comes Wayne close, and that is dangerous. That's the kind of shot that Dietrich can really knock down. This is going to be a slam dunk for the best of the business. He's got it. Goalie's worst nightmare. The all-time leading scorer in the middle coming down face to face, burns him, and he's got rope. Paul Gait, 4 goals of the 6 scored for the Knighthawks. He can strap the team on his back and carry him a long way. If you're in the Syracuse area, check out Paul Gait's new store. That's what he's spending his time doing when he's not working out for the Knighthawks. He's got his own lacrosse outlets. Paul Gait taking over for Rochester. Boy, he looks fit when he takes off. Tony Miller coming into the middle of the cylinder. Check from behind. Dietrich plays it nice and cool. All the way out to Sudan. Sudan's got Benedict in front. Sudan in the cylinder, and he can't get it past Sal. This is the kind of pace that I believe will burn up Rochester in the 4th quarter. Let's see if they protect their goalie, Dietrich. Dietrich got hammered. I'll tell you what, if Dietrich goes out, they are in trouble. They have an untested backup in Miles General. And the hitting is getting fierce. Game's all tied at 6. We've got just about 9 minutes left in the first half. The hitting is getting intense.
Just turn around and scoop the ball out of the net. Now, what you want to do, you know either when Paul's coming down one-on-one, he's going to do something deceptive. Most of the time, they don't beat you by just winding up and shooting the ball as far as they can. And I think that's what they do better than, 90% of the guys in the league. They're going to do something that's deceptive. They're going to get you to think to move just a little bit, to move or lean towards one side of the net, and then go to the other.
And he knows full well this is exactly what he was looking at. Gait comes down. You get a fast break with the Gator, and folks, it's all over. Paul Gait, a human wrecking ball so far. He's 4 goals out of the 6 for the Nighthawks. 6-6, the game tied. About 8 minutes left. He's got the ball in the middle. He's tough to handle. One guy can't do it, but the ball down. Great defense by Pat McCabe. McCabe knocks the Nighthawk player off the ball. That's Cam Bomberry.
Pick it up. At the push.
Lockwood's had another tough time physically. Let's talk to Q about Lockwood.
Charlie, you don't look like you're 100%. Ankle all dinged up?
Yeah, it happened on the first shot when I scored the behind the back goal. I got messed up with someone else's foot or leg. I got hit, and I turned it over pretty bad. But tape it up, and I'm going to go and see how it goes the rest of the game.
Looks like Lockwood is less than 100%. Leaf, and McEntee has not stepped onto the floor since the first quarter. So New York's got a little manpower problem.
And Q, they've really been stepping up. I've never seen a team start so explosively. They've really been testing the physical stamina of Rochester. That will be a problem. They seem to have two guys, one not back on the field, one less than 100%, and Driscoll rips that one past LoCascio. LoCascio arguing to the ref.
Knocked it right out of his hand. That's all we got.
That is the first one-goal lead in a long time. 3 straight goals. This one by Driscoll. He just rips it from way out front. That's 2 of the last 3 by Driscoll. LoCascio can't believe the play. He's arguing about something, but Driscoll really looking sharp. He's got a handful of goals. He's got 2 goals and 2 or 3 assists unofficially, from my count. Our scoring has him 2 goals, 2 assists. He is a huge factor in the offense. 1-goal lead for Rochester. I don't think Quinn or Christie or I could have predicted that this game would be so high scoring. Rochester is answering the call of New York speed. Here comes the Gator. He's out in front. Lockwood trying on that hurt ankle to keep up, and he can't get it past Lockwood.
The push. Pick it outside.
Christy Lee on the Rochester side.
I have Chris Driscoll, who just scored the goal to put you ahead for the first time since that first goal early on in the contest. Are you starting to figure out this Saints team?
Yeah, I think they come out a lot quicker than us. They're getting the loose balls a lot better, and we're just finishing now.
Well, you just scored another goal. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Chris Driscoll, the second leading scorer on this team, and the Nighthawks are now up by 2, Lee.
And Christie, they're getting the shots right in the face. Watch how they get it down inside. He'll come across. Duane Jacobs will make the goalie go high. He gets LoCascio all over the place. And once he is off his set position, easy target for Rote. Duane Jacobs, first goal tonight, and he is another part of that important scoring triad. Counted on to score. They've got a 2-goal lead now, the first of the game for them. 4 straight goals. And Quint, I'm going to ask you a little bit later on about this conditioning. Maybe New York is running themselves out of this game. They certainly don't look to get any pressure. Timmy Seremet, he's got Rote, 3-goal lead. And Vinnie Pfeifer, I think, has used up all his timeouts. He doesn't have any timeouts left. Again, they bring it down. Sudan against the defense. Rolls inside. Dunks it home past LoCascio. Timmy's first goal, but that's 5 straight. So just when I thought that New York might be running away with it, maybe that injury situation is causing them to burn up too many players too fast, because the Nighthawks look to be in great shape. Reggie Thornton. Hollenbeck. Rex Lyons, the veteran. Sudan, who just scored, gets it down low. Look away, down in. Great hard save by LoCascio. Watch out, Hollenbeck. No, this is Blanding. Blanding sends it home, the lefty finisher. And unfortunately, Pfeifer already burned up his timeouts. This was a mistake, maybe of a rookie coach. He's got nothing to break the momentum with. He can't even stop the game. They've got 6:20 left in the half, and the crowd is rocking. Blanding comes down, 5 holds it. McCabe tried to go behind to help, but this thing is coming unglued for Vinnie Pfeifer. And as I've mentioned 2 times, he's already burned up his 2 timeouts. He can't stop the onslaught. One way to do it is to get the face off, and Purdy helps that happen. This is McCabe over to Purdy. 10-6, 4-goal lead. 6 straight goals for the Nighthawks. Trying to get it into Huff. Here comes Lemon. Thorpe way up in front, looking for the fast break. Here's Reggie, can't collect. Huff. By Driscoll. Driscoll looking for a trailer. He's got Paul Gait. Can't get it to him. Paul Gait was begged for it in the cylinder, but Driscoll couldn't find him. And most of that was because of the great defensive huff. Millen. Nobody's in better condition than this man. Tony Millen comes down. All-American, Towson State. Backdoor, Purdy. 2 passes, and Dietrich makes the save of the night. Tremendous save. Dietrich going pipe to pipe. New York could not have worked that any better, and Dietrich made a great save. The crowd starting to yell, Chugger. Chugger's his nickname. Park. Road. Referee's timeout. And New York will try to regroup. 5-goal lead for Rochester. It'll be Silcott against Don Borges, one of the veterans coming back, one of the only former All-Pros that New York has ever had besides Sal LoCascio. McEntee's one, he's hurt, and Borges the other. 5-goal lead for the Knighthawks. The wheels have come off, and I don't know what Pfeifer can do. We're going to find out in a second. Jacobs, big save by LoCascio. Q, what's the coach say about this big momentum shift?
Vinny, I wish I had talked to you early on in the game when you guys were up 6-4. 7 straight Nighthawk goals. What's going on?
Some of our players are starting to play outside of their abilities. One of the things we requested early on in the locker room was play within yourself. And that means that if you've been given a designated role, that's what we expect you to do. One-handed defensive checks are not what we groom on defense. Some of those situations, along with some ball watching, have resulted in some nice backdoor goals for Rochester. This is a ball game.
New York gotten out of their game plan here.
And it's almost not a ball game, Q. I think you'd agree. 5 goals up. It really had a just night and day shift in momentum. New York was really dictating tempo. They had the lead after the first goal of the game scored by Gait. It was Seremet, Huff, and Lockwood gave them a 3-1 lead for New York. But then Rochester stayed with them and had that explosion that was started by Driscoll. 7 straight goals. Panetta in tight with a check from behind, takes away the shot. It goes back to the Knighthawks. Landing. Down low, Sudan tries to backdoor it past LoCascio. 2 of the good pickups in the offseason. Landing and Kerwick. Kerwick didn't dress tonight.
Pick off. Right there.
3:20 left in the half. 5-goal lead for the hometown Rochester Knighthawks. It hasn't been that easy for them. It sounds easy, but it wasn't. New York dictated tempo. New York had a lead early on, scoring 3 straight in the first 4 goals. Paul Gait kept Rochester in the game, and then all of a sudden, Rochester exploded with 7 straight for this 5-goal lead. And Vinnie Pfeifer, first-year coach, had burned up his timeouts, could not stop the momentum. He's doing a great job, though. His team is definitely on a curve. He knows it's not a one-game renewal process. This team will take some time to learn the ropes the way he wants them taught. Rex Lyons down low, trying to get the Benedict, but picked up beautifully by New York up to Lockwood. Lockwood with that injury Q talked about, running on a sore ankle. Lockwood, the leading returning scorer in the cylinder. That would be a goal, but Chugger makes the big stuff. Steve Dietrich came up huge. That was a one-on-one in his face. And Darren Lowe couldn't beat him, the rookie. All-American from Brown. This is Lockwood. Good-looking talent on this line for New York. They've got the horses, no question about it. Gordon Purdy played for the Australian team, world team 2 years ago. Played for Adelphi in this country. This is Darren Lowe. Two Lowe brothers playing, Darren and Kevin, for the New York Saints. And again, Chugger makes the save. Push call.
Timeout. Official time.
Official timeout with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Still a 5-goal lead for the Rochester Knighthawks. It'll be New York ball. Vinnie Sombrotto, who took off last year after the world team was third world team, or maybe even fourth, I forget. He's been on the world team so long, they only play every 4 years, that Vinnie Sombrotto, one of New York's best, took off last year. Pfeifer wanted him back for leadership this year. This is Panetta. O'Keefe, scoring supplies last year. Panetta, so much power right-handed. That shot around the screen of the defense. And a hold call against Cam Bomberry.
Hold in there. Rochester, 2 minutes, holding, 18.
Well, Bomberry gives New York a chance to come back into this thing. They've got 1:36 left in the half. They'll be extra the whole way if they can run the play. Look up high there, because that's where Bomberry's doing the mugging. Up there to the left. Panetta took the shot, but 18 right there in the center of your screen now. It already fouled Vinnie Sombrotto. They'll set it up this time with Borges up top. Lockwood there for the right-handed shooter. Borges, big cannon shot, again follows up, it misses. He had the rope in front of him, just went a little bit high with the shot. Seremet up top. Lockwood, Laser Lockwood was his nickname. He's got the great right-handed shot. That one bounces off of the defense. The Knighthawks. Knighthawks go with Mearns, Silcock, Sudan, and Thorpe on D. Borges. Trying to get back quickly because Rochester's looking to fast break. Seremet down low to O'Keefe, who tries to bend it around the corner, but Chugger was there. Dietrich with the easy save. 56, 55 seconds left, time winding down. Let's see what they do with it. Here comes Sudan against Charlie Lockwood, who's running pretty good, Quint. He looks like that ankle injury, maybe not slowing him down as much as we thought it could. So he's running pretty good now. It's all wrapped up. Inside, finishing shot, Duane Jacobs. This team is so dangerous, man down. Don't forget, they were a man short, but still they get it in close. Jacobs picks it up. Now the defense tries a wrap check. That won't do it. Jacobs lunges in. That's the kind of check that Vinnie Pfeifer talked about won't work. You can't swing the check, give up your body position. Score now 12-6. 8 straight goals. And don't forget, that was a power play situation for New York, a chance for them to get back into it. And it's gone. LoCascio. Panetta. Time winding down in the first half. You see this clock. Dietrich looking very strong, and he's got reason to be confident. He's got an offense that's scoring a lot of goals. Lockwood nails Brian Lemon.
Way up the ball, my ball, please. That's way off the ball. Moving pick, way off the ball. Timeout. Timeout. Rochester.
Rochester calls a timeout with 7 seconds left. They want one final shot with a 6-goal lead. So they'll call a specific play to get a shot with the final 7 ticks of the clock.
Okay, Kansas. Okay, Rex, come on, okay? Clear. 5-on-5, just try it clear out, okay? Try to get Paul, take the ball up top. This is like a 1-4-1. Top shooters gotta go. Top shooters gotta go set for the crease. So Rex, go set for two. You got set for Park. 5-on-5.
All right, this is a very simple play. You got Paul Gait. What do? You give him the ball. But what he wants to happen is the top shooters, right hand, left hand, to clear out for him. They'll come down low and set picks for Duane Jacobs and Peter Park. You'll see those guys that normally stay low for the right and left-handed finish. They'll wheel off those picks and give Gait a target for a feed, or he'll have the opportunity to shoot. It's all got to happen in 7 seconds. Ball Gait against McCabe, the great All-American defenseman. He's inside. He's trouble here. Double team, triple team. Shot by Duane Jacobs doesn't get there. As soon as Paul Gait got inside, if he would have released the ball, somebody was wide open. He elected to try to take the shot through 3 people. Still a great first half, 12-6, 6-goal lead, and Barry Powless has to be happy, Christy Lee.
Coach Powless, you were down by 1 at the end of the first quarter, and you have come back and shut out the Saints to lead this 12-6. What is the key? What did you do?
Well, we just told the guys they had to concentrate more on the ground balls. We felt we have possession on a defensive, on rebounds, and on offense, get us second, third shots. And what's happened is our transition sort of kicked into gear. Guys are going to net hard and finishing. That's a big difference right there.
You think they're finally settling down, this being the first game of the season and everything?
Yeah, I think so. We knew that coming in. They're all excited for that. But we basically told them they have to concentrate on offense, be patient, and the transition comes around, they have to take advantage of it. Obviously they did, so.
Well, you've got work to do in the locker room. Coach Powless, we'll see you in the second half. As the Nighthawks lead here at the War Memorial, 12-6, we have a little bit of time right now as we go into halftime. And we're going to take a look at our weekly feature that we call Rules and Tools of the Game.
Time for the rules and tools of the mill. Brought to you by Old Spice High Endurance Deodorant and alcohol-free sensitive aftershave. Rules for the stick shape allow for customization by players. This 6.5-inch width can be baked down by mill rules to 4.5-inch minimum. Now that gives you great control when you're in close shooting. But the downside is when you're in the field, now you've got this very small target, you've got to get the ball back in. Gary Gait can do it using this turbo. Not every player can. Most cases you'll see between 4.5 and 6.
Welcome to our Bud Light halftime report from Rochester, the War Memorial Coliseum. Lee Felsmo with you to show you the stats of this story of this game. Welcome to our Bud Light halftime report from the Rochester War Memorial. It has been the Nighthawks in the second quarter. They dominated, and they took control right there in the second quarter to have the 6-goal lead, 12-6. Let's take a look at the stats to show you a little bit of the story behind this great offense. Now, New York wins the face-off war, but the problem is finishing with New York, and let's show you why. Loose ball's about even, shots on goal in favor of New York. The saves, big in the number for the guy from Rochester. That's Dietrich. He's doing a fantastic job in the nets. So consequently, the goals for Rochester showing 12-6 for New York. For the Saints, they get 19 shots in the face of Dietrich. Only 5 goals. Dietrich coming up huge. New York without the ability to finish like the great stick skills of the Rochester team. Let's look at Rochester. They get 23 shots in the same area, but they can 11 of them. They are great finishers. That's the way they were last year, and that is really the key to what has made them successful here today. They can finish when they're in close, something that New York has not been able to do. So that'll be the story of the third quarter. Can New York stop them from scoring close? They've got some injuries to deal with. Paul Gait may not play, but they've got a 6-goal lead to deal with. When we come back, we'll continue with the third quarter. Tonight's MILL Game of the Week is brought to you in part by the Radisson Hotel at Rochester Plaza, the official home of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League in Rochester.
Welcome back. We're just about ready to start the second half here at the War Memorial, where the Nighthawks are up by 6. But the huge story going into halftime was that smack Paul Gait took. And Alan Friedman, who's the trainer for the Nighthawks, tells us that he's out for the game.
He's out. That last play of the first half, he kind of fell awkwardly, strained his low back. He's not going to return for the second half.
Well, how's it look for the rest of the season?
We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a day-to-day thing. He's had some problems in the past, so we'll just see how he responds to the treatment that we're going to do.
Alan Friedman, the trainer for the Nighthawks. We've dropped the rock, and we're playing, Leaf.
Christy, that's a tough break, as you all know, for Rochester. This guy is so dynamic. Nobody stops Paul Gait when he's healthy. In the first half, you could see that in the way he played. He opened up the scoring, scored the first 2 goals, scored 3 of the first 4 for Rochester. Really kept them in the game until the rest of his team got up to speed. Right now, it's New York, and the power play starting. They weren't in a power play. They looked like they were running a power play. It was, let me get you straight here. It was 5-on-4. They had a penalty to start the second half, and that's why they are going 5-on-4. Look at them working nicely to O'Keefe. O'Keefe burns it down against the box. Burns, they are looking as Dietrich gets scorched. So they score to open up the second half. Only 5 goals down now, and that is not impossible as McCabe gets ready to face off against Brian Silcott. Silcott 4, you see him at the top of your screen running off. They balance the line with Cam Bomberry. This is Driscoll. Had a real good second quarter. Driscoll comes in, and that's deflected by LoCascio. Both teams with a decidedly different look as they start the second half. We've got a big injury situation over on the New York bench. And McKay brings it down now. I don't think New York is fully healthy either. They've got a lot of guys hurt in the first half. We also saw Lockwood favoring a right angle. We also saw McEntee have a hurt leg. New York comes in. Sombrotto trying to get past Dietrich. Swept to the side. Reggie Thorpe, the defensive specialist, comes out with it. About 2 minutes into the second half. Paul Gait out of the game. We know that. New York hobbled by injuries. It looks like they may not have full strength. I don't see McEntee in the game. I don't see Lockwood playing.
That's a pick-off! That way, New York ball!
Moving pick. McCabe off. Panetta off. Vinnie Pfeifer had a tough second quarter. Quinn Pesnick's got him now.
Vinnie, you guys are a little banged up right now. McEntee and Lockwood out of the lineup. How are you going to replace and fill that line?
First of all, those 2 guys are great players, and we really do miss them. Secondly, what we're going to do is we've got 2 lines intact, and the 3rd line is down 2 men. We can start with either line, but then rotate in accordingly. So we told the guys, shuffle down the bench, but make sure you split up your righties and your lefties, so you don't have 2 lefties going on the floor. Right there, and then you've got 3 on the floor at one time.
Coach Pfeiffer's bench management skills being tested here.
Quint, they really are. They've got 2 guys down now. That's been confirmed. You've got Lockwood out. You've got McEntee out. And so all Vinnie can do is really hope, as he says, they shuffle down the bench. If you're totally gassed, one of those extra 3 guys fills in. He asks that they maintain righty-lefty. You always want the stick in the cylinder. If you're shooting right now toward the right, you want your lefties nearest us. You want your righties on the far side. Panetta, the right-handed rocket off the iron. They've had 2 pipe shots early here, and they've already scored 1 goal. They're only 5 down against a Paul Gait-less Rochester Nighthawk team. He will not play the rest of the way. Watch out, Purdy coming down. 2-on-1, Panetta's to his left. Purdy will take the shot. No, back to Panetta. Easy set. Dietrich with a huge shoulder save. The inability to finish has hurt New York. They've got another chance. They can't find Rope. The numbers showed you at halftime that the more Canadian-like, Native American-like box skills of Rochester gives them a better finishing ability. Rochester keeps the ball to get a fresh shot clock. Pfeiffer will maintain his composure. You've heard him with Quinn a couple times. When the wheels are falling off the cart, he is definitely still in control. Check down, far side. Here comes again Purdy. We talked about him at the front of the show, how he wanted to use his speed. Now twice in the last minute, he has taken off on a fast break, but they don't have a goal to show for it. Down low, they can't connect with Huff. Dietrich out to the wing. Landing, number 77, goes off now. Fresh line comes on. No Paul Gait. Driscoll had a good first half, though. He looks inside. Cam Bomberry, the young rookie. Rocket shot, rope! Bomberry from Nazareth has a huge rocket. Look at him take this left-handed sizzler, just a grass burner in the old 5-hole. Watch him. Nobody picks him up. He doesn't even wait to come in all the way. He just lines it up and takes that 100-mile-an-hour rocket. That equals the score by O'Keefe. Now back to a 6-goal lead for Rochester. They've got a lot of guys that can score. That's one of New York's problems. They don't have that many true scoring people. They've got several guys that can give you a couple goals, maybe, but that's a big night for them.
Backcourt violation.
Backcourt violation. A couple guys that can give you 3 or 4. Christy Lee on the sideline.
Assistant coach Paul Day is with me, and we want to talk about the loss of Paul Gait. What are you going to do to switch around on offense to make up for him?
Unfortunately, this year we've got a few more lefties in the lineup than we did last year. We were down to 6 last year. So we actually got 2 more in the lineup, which means we can filter them through. With the power play, we're going to select Rex Lyons in on the power. He's experienced last year on the power. So with him there, that'll help his experience, obviously. It just makes it harder for us on the bench to actually get them in there, get the other guys in there and filter them through. So we got lots of legs left.
Paul Day and the rest of the coaches for the Knighthawks have their job cut out for them as they try to make up for the loss of Paul Gait.
Haven't seen a more impressive second quarter, though, Christy. That second quarter was absolutely awesome. 7 goals for them. Driscoll, huge night. He assisted Bomberry on the last goal. He gets his 4th assist. And he's got 2 goals. So Driscoll 2 and 4 on the night. That'll really help. They said they try to fill in. They try not to lean on Paul the whole way. Purdy tries to get it past Dietrich. And the Chugger, he has really gotten into a groove. He's only allowed 1 goal since the first quarter. First quarter, they scored 6 on him. They were in his face all quarter. That was tightened up by Powless and company. Pete Park can't collect. Ball on the glass. Silcox. Backdoor finishing shot. Can't get into the net past LoCascio. Matt Ryder on the far side. You heard.
Guys, much better, much better. Much better, fellas. You're back in the game.
Well, that may be stretching a little bit, but they're definitely playing a little more control. They're 6 goals down. You've got to crawl back to like 4. Borges. Big check by Murns. Borges had the shot. He just didn't take it. He wanted to come a little closer. Timmy Soudan. Borges is one of the guys they've got to count on for New York to come up. He's coming off now for a defensive player. New York start off so fast. This is Benedict on the far side looking for a cutter. Soudan's the cutter. Big save by LoCascio. Outlets to the speedy Seremet. Seremet, Lemon plan D, and Thorpe goes back to join Lemon. They cut off the fast break. So the fact that 2 players are off of the New York lineup is really taking its toll on, I think, the fact that their conditioning is pretty high on the level of the major indoor lacrosse league. They just don't have all the players. They're taking double shifts.
New York ball!
7 minutes left in the third quarter. Each team has scored here. Still a 6-goal lead for the hometown Rochester. Live NHL action on the Deuce Wednesday, January 10th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Whalers take on the Calgary Flames. The Whalers are led by team captain Brendan Shanahan. The Flames, after a poor start, 5 of the last 7 in the win column. We're at the Rochester War Memorial Coliseum. It's a 6-goal lead for the hometown team. This was the identical matchup last year to start the season. It was a 12-8 score then. It's 13-7 now. Story of this game, 7-0 lead, 7-0 offensive push for Rochester in the second quarter. Dietrich shut out New York and is doing a good job here. Darren Lowe, all the way across, ripping the shot. Dietrich has a tendency to come out to cut the angle. New York gets one more pass, they can hurt him on the backside. But they are not doing that right now. They're taking the shots from outside, and he does a beautiful job of giving you nothing to shoot at. Blanding. Blanding left-handed shooter, doesn't hit the 4x4.5. He's got 18 square feet to shoot at. Sudan takes one, goes wide. Fresh shot clock. Tries to go back door to Rex Lyons. Lyons has help out front with Blanding, a good left-hander. Tries to get it into Sudan, who's defense by Huff. So New York has tightened up their defense. They're keeping the shooters away from that red zone right in front of LoCascio. Gordon Purdy, you can see the wheels. Oh, just missed. He tried to fake the pass to Panetta. The ball came out of his stick. Here comes Sudan. Silcock trailing, trying to help him out. Down in front there is Driscoll. Driscoll's coming up huge. They finally get it down to him. Watch how he gets LoCascio moving. Finally gets him to move his shoulders up, down low, and finds holes to shoot at. Hip side, right at the hip is a tough spot to cover. Quinn Kesnick to confirm that. And as soon as he gets the goalie up and exposes that hip, that's where Driscoll nailed that shot. It's 14-7. 7-goal lead for the Knighthawks. Lee Belzmo along with Christy Lee and Quinn Kesnick. ESPN 2 coverage. Special presentation. Maybe singing on ESPN. Our normal slot, ESPN 2 on Monday nights at 7:30. Don't miss the action. All the way through the season. Chad Smith gets it down to Panetta. Chad Smith, number 43, a rookie. Timeout. On the field, 5:28 left. Still a 7-goal lead for the Knighthawks.
Got one for...
That 7-goal lead was established in the second quarter with 7 straight goals unanswered for Rochester. 5:20 left in the third period. This is O'Keefe. Good-looking scorer coming in. Takes the shot. Finds the old 5-hole. A piece of that by Dietrich. 3 goals for O'Keefe, 3 straight. And he is looking good for the Saints. Watch O'Keefe come in there and just come straight overhead. Find a little piece of Dietrich and bounce it in. Looking for help on the offensive end is the New York Saints, are the New York Saints, and O'Keefe supplying it. He had a pretty good year last year for this team. He's one player that knows how to finish. Hat trick. And 3 straight for Brian. Seremet now as New York controls the faceoff. And Vinnie Pfeifer is getting his team back in it if they can maintain the possessions. Big save by Dietrich as here come the Knighthawks in close. Vinnie Jacobs can't beat LoCascio. Huge save. Arm save on the high shot. Merns now picks it up. Up front is Ryder. Ryder gets it picked off. Great defense. Seremet from Darren Lowe. And again, Chugger closes the shot. Matt Ryder. Inside. It all starts with a great save by Dietrich. He makes a huge save, and then they just get the offense moving on the other end. Ryder's finishing. He wants the right-handed shot, so he gets the defensive man on him, rolls inside against Panetta, has the full 18 feet to shoot at, and nails it. Great finishing fashion And I kept calling that Ryder. I got the wrong team, folks. I'm confusing myself. Matt Ryder from Syracuse, great Italian, won the championship for Syracuse in his senior year at the final shot. And Ryder wanted the right-handed shot the whole way. Landing. Knighthawks doing some good ball move. They have a fresh shot clock now. They've got a handful of guys that have been key in their scoring. Mearns is one of them. He's got 5 assists on the night. Driscoll, the big guy, 3 goals, 4 assists. This is Blanning, a natural lefty, great player at Loyola in Baltimore, Maryland. Thorpe, what an athlete he is. A defenseman at Syracuse. He has been a defensive enforcer for the Knighthawks, but he can do it all. Big hit by Gordon Purdy, and the shot clock coming down to 1. That's why Driscoll took it right there. Now here comes New York. Quinn Kesnick's on their bench. What kind of sense of the bench there do you get on the momentum?
I think, Leaf, they're getting a little tired down here. This is the stage in every game where the players seem to tire. Game opens up with a lot of fast breaks. The difference right now is that Rochester, they're finishing their shots, and the only player for New York who's had any success against Dietrich is O'Keefe with 3 goals.
And Q, the 13 players, has to be taking its toll. It looks like New York is getting more tired with not enough players to run full shifts.
Yeah, they are. They've got guys playing 2 and 3 shifts in a row. I mean, Gordon Purdy was out on the floor for about 5 minutes at the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
So the fitness that could have been an asset for New York looks to be taken away as 2 players go down. I'll tell you what, the Knighthawks, as you can tell at home, are running step for step. They really just took over the 2nd quarter. Great shot. There was a feed into Benedict, who just kind of danced over it. He tried to shovel it in to LoCascio. We're down to 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. A 7-goal lead for the hometown Monks.
Timeout! Official time!
Moving pick call.
My
the ball
time.
goes back to Rochester. We've got just under 2 minutes. 7-goal lead for the Knighthawks.
Getting the shots. Plenty of time. Keep shooting. I have no problem with what you're doing. Good individual defense.
Well, Vinnie Pfeifer trying to put it back together. He's got 2 players down. Barry Powless on the other bench.
Okay, 1's on a Gait. 1's on a Gait.
One difference about this team that we've touched on a little bit is that last year they were predominantly a right-handed team, the Rochester Knighthawks, and Gait was one of the few, only the 6 left-handers. Well, they've shifted that around. They've got a predominantly left-handed team now, as Duane Jacobs comes in to finish. So when Gait goes out, it doesn't leave him real short on the left side. They've got left-handers to fill in for him. That was done on purpose and by design by Barry Powless. It's really paid great dividends. They knew they couldn't count on Paul Gait being healthy the full year. He's got that back problem. He is explosive when he's healthy, but now they don't find themselves lost if he gets hurt. A little over a minute to go. The 7-goal lead stands. Vinnie Pfeifer, you heard him talking about being in the game. They get it back to about 4. When you're 3 goals down in major indoor lacrosse, you feel like you're in the game. So they've got about 4 goals to kind of march back in 1 at a time. Then you're back in the game. Well, right now, Rochester's got a comfortable lead. 7 goals is a ton. Seremet trying to get Chugger out. Now, see, that is the kind of angle that Chugger just gobbles up. He comes out and cuts it down. They need to make 1 more pass, 2 more passes down low to get it behind Steve Dietrich. He comes way out of the net to cut down any angle from the outside shot. So New York feeding into his technique unless they make a couple more passes down too low to some finishers. Cam Bomberry over the top. LoCascio picks up, looks for the outlet, and that's where the dead legs just don't give it to him. Not too many guys willing to take the full sprint. 17 seconds left. They get one good shot if they know. Like Pat McCabe, is he aware of the time? 10 seconds left. Darren Lowe. Vinnie Sombrotto. Sombrotto tries to get it down low. He does. Seremet, the finisher, off the pipe. Another iron. LoCascio is off the field. Nobody in the net. They shoot it the full length of the field. Doesn't go. Time expired. A big quarter. Another 3-2. Won by Rochester. They lead by 7. Don't miss our next game. Mill MVP Gary Gait and the defending champion Philadelphia Wings take on Ted the Dasher Dowling and the Buffalo Bandits Monday, January 12th at 9:30 Eastern Time at the Core State Spectrum. Exclusive action, ESPN2's production of Major Indoor Lacrosse. Leif Elsmo, Quinn Kesnick, Christy Lee. We're bringing you this game, and this is the Nighthawks game since the second quarter. It was 6-5. New York led after 1. They looked sensational. They looked fast. They were in the face of Steve Dietrich. Then 7 straight goals and a shutout for Rochester against New York in the second quarter. Gave them a 12-6 halftime lead. They win the third quarter 3-2. That puts us at 15-8. With not much time left for New York. There are the stats through the third quarter. You can see that Rochester now maintaining an edge of loose balls, which really helps you control. You can see face-offs in favor of New York, and more importantly is that again, the finishing story is what you're witnessing. You can see that when they get the shots down low, more often than not Rochester puts them away, where New York just doesn't have the great finishers that are required for that top division teams in Major Indoor Lacrosse. They've got great shooters, great field players, and they're still learning some techniques under the new coach Vinnie Sombrotto, or Vinnie Pfeifer, out of Vinnie's line. Vinnie Sombrotto and coach Vinnie Pfeifer. Shot clock down to 4-3. They're going to lose possession here. Here comes Sudan. All-pro year 2 years ago, but running down the bench side, you rarely get away with it, and that's what happened. O'Keefe came in, took the ball away. O'Keefe, he finds the net, and he gets his 4th goal of the game. O'Keefe has scored 4 straight goals. He's the only offense for New York. What a night for O'Keefe. He scored twice in the third, once in the first, and once in the fourth here, but he has scored the only goals. Watch him come down with that left hand. They make a move to defend him, but he had too much of a shot. Great accuracy. Tremendous job for him. Brian O'Keefe, 6 feet, 200 pounds. Q's got him right now.
Brian, 3rd year in the league. Tonight, you seem to be the only Saint having success against Dietrich with 4 goals.
Well, we seem to be getting a lot of shots on Steve. He's making a lot of good saves. But we're having some tough time out there shooting. Starting to work hard. We dug ourselves a bit of a hole, but
what's the key to your shot?
Well, I'm shooting overhand, getting over his shoulder a little bit. There's another one, so hopefully we'll get back in the game.
And New York scores another goal, their 10th, to pull within to pull within 5, Eric Seremet.
And Q, that's what they've got to do, just take it one at a time. They're getting close now to putting pressure on Rochester. 12 minutes, 50 seconds left. Watch Seremet getting close to that left hand and beat Chugger. Now they're within 5, still a comfortable lead as Rochester calls a timeout. Seremet's second goal tonight. O'Keefe had taken on the yeoman's work, scoring 4 straight. Seremet brings it back to within 5. Timeout, Rochester. When we come back, the final 13 minutes and a chance for New York to... If you like great basketball, stay tuned for Atlantic 10 Conference basketball. It's 9:30 p.m. Xavier at Temple. 2 great Atlantic 10 Conference matchups. And I'll tell you what, the basketball is getting great. Can't get any better than Temple's playing right now with senior forward Jason Ivey. Right now, scoring by quarters, and the story's right there in the second. That 7-0 run gave them all they needed. New York wins the first quarter. Rochester wins the second. But look, 2 goals for New York in this fourth. They thought they might have a lot of legs left in the fourth, and this gives them a little bit of momentum. They have 2 goals in a row. The first time since the first quarter they've scored 2 in a row. And they have possession. Enjoying the faceoff. They've done a great job at that. Panetta getting nailed, and now you'll see Rochester protecting the cylinder.
2 minutes. Hold.
More trouble for Rochester.
Rochester number 4, 2 minutes hold.
Brian Silcott goes into the box. We'll take a look at the hold. Watch number 4 right there, wrapping himself around Seremet, or that's Panetta. Takes Panetta down, and he'll spend 2 minutes in the box. So 5 goals down, but they've got a power play they can get to within 4, and that's when you start feeling a little pressure. You feel like you're back into the game. We start with Sombrotto, who normally is. Now Lockwood's back on the field. Lockwood's up top playing this power play. Hurt ankle and all. Sombrotto bounces it off of Burns. Charlie Lockwood to your right of your screen. Hasn't played yet. He's playing on this power play. 23. He's got a cannon from Laser Lockwood in college, and that one just goes wide of the net. They'll try to burn up some time here, see if Lockwood can run. He's running pretty well. They try to burn it up. They might shoot if they get in low. This is Driscoll. Looks for trailing player, Rex Lyons. Lyons going to set a pick with Lockwood. They're working against Lockwood, trying to test his ankle. Seremet playing a little bit of defense now. Lyons picks it up. They're trying to kill time. They'll use the full shot clock. 7 seconds left. Burns against the defense of New York, who is a man extra. Driscoll, shot clock down to 1. They'll lose possession. They just throw it away with a minute left now. They burned a minute off that power play. Lockwood hobbling on that right ankle. He hasn't played a normal run, but he wants to make this power play more effective. He's playing the point. A natural righty, Laser Lockwood. He was called when he wore Gary Gates' number at Syracuse, number 22. He followed in Gary Gates' shoes at Syracuse and had the guts to pick up his great favorite number, 22. Backdoor shot and a goal. They've got rope. Great finish. And it starts from Vinnie Sombrotto. 12-21. Seremet nails this one.
I'd like the third. I'd like the third. Down to your facing. Go.
And they're sticking with the system. Watch, backdoor finish. Seremet parked himself beautifully, and Sombrotto, the KG veteran, Sombrotto won't give you a lot of goals, but what kind of veteran leadership he gives you produces this kind of result. Great field vision Vinnie Sombrotto has. He finds Seremet. 3 goals for him, 2 straight, and O'Keefe and Seremet doing it all. Vinnie Sombrotto also scored right before O'Keefe went on his 4-goal run. This face-off controlled by Rochester now with about 10.5 minutes left. And a little bit of crunch time here. They've lost a lot of momentum. 3 straight goals for the Saints. Lions couldn't find the net. Shot clock down to 3. They'll lose possession. See if New York runs. Shot clock violation.
My ball, leave it, bury it.
You listen to Bill Fox right there in the white hat, crew chief for tonight's game. You'll hear him make the calls throughout the game. 10 minutes left, 4 goals down. This is big. When you're within 3, you feel like you can do it. Steve Dietrich may be getting tired. He's had a lot of pressure all game long. Watch out, tried to get it inside to Huff, who couldn't collect it. Millen does. Great conditioning. Wide open. Millen, back door. They try to get the finish shot, but can't put it home. That was a chance to nail a huge goal, but Don Borges couldn't collect it. And the Nighthawks bring it back. Bomberry, the #1 pick, gives it up as his line goes off. Shot with not a great angle. Easy save for LoCascio. Here comes Kevin Lowe. Purdy up in front. Great speed. Kevin Lowe looking for the trailing Huff. Now Millen wants it. And Lowe holds it the whole time. Millen can't believe it. He was crying for the ball. Now Millen has it. He's in great condition. Millen likes this kind of run. He'd like to run the whole game. I don't think he ever wants to come out. Number 28 for New York. Here comes Benedict. Wraps around behind his back in a big save. As Seremet ran with him the whole way, LoCascio didn't take the fake. 4-goal lead for Rochester. New York's got the ball. They've scored 3 straight. Purdy. Off the right hand, ducks inside. Back door! He can't collect it. That underhand was there. They can't get the pressure on Dietrich.
No, right here. No, it's not. Bring it back inside, back in the crease. We're going to restart it. Let's go. Just a crease violation. Your ball.
Are you okay?
Vinnie Pfeifer trying to get a read on what the call was. The call was crease violation against New York. The ball goes to Rochester. A little over 8 minutes left. Rochester trying to burn up some time. They'll try to take time off possession. And look at the saves by Dietrich, 41. You wonder why the guy's getting tired. He's taking a tremendous amount of shots. Shot in close, and LoCascio makes the big save. So 41 shots on Dietrich last year. He took a handful here too. He took many more than LoCascio did, but he made the big saves. Last year he played 14 points over his season average, while LoCascio played 14 points under it. McKay with a right-handed shot, easy save by Chugger. Burns looks for the ball, can't get it as Sombrotto goes down the far side. Millen trying to find O'Keefe. O'Keefe has had a sensational night. Vinnie Sombrotto brings it down. O'Keefe wants it up top. He's calling for it. Sombrotto can't find Rope.
We're going back that way. New York ball. No, he's all over my ball, please, Randy.
Reggie Thorpe just ran over Tony Millen. This man is about as nasty a defender in a legal sense. This guy is tough. Watch Thorpe, real time. Two of the toughest in the game, Reggie Thorpe, Tony Millen. You watched our game last week, you saw Mark Millen playing for Baltimore. That's Tony's brother. In close, O'Keefe from Fairleigh Dickinson. Huge night for him. Couldn't pick it up. Now we're at 7 minutes, 4-goal lead for Rochester. They definitely are tiring out a little bit. It's been a very aggressive game, a lot of running. Let's see if Duane Jacobs takes a little air out of this ball. Far side, Ryder! Matt Ryder did a great thing. It was being slowed down by Jacobs. Now watch him look off. Ryder comes racing in from the sideline, then lunges in to get full extension and a full 18 square feet. That's a huge goal. 5-goal lead, 6 minutes to go for Rochester.
Close the spread. Win the face-off.
Let's leave a guy. We got to cheat on offense. We got to take chances.
Yeah.
Not yet. You want to do it now?
What?
Hold the man up after we get the ball. I mean, we got to make up 5 goals.
Okay. All right, we'll try it. We'll try it.
Vinnie Pfeifer, no penalty. John Phillips to his right, our left. That's the group getting this team on a new tact, a new course, on the same page, a team page. They start off so strong in the first quarter. In the second quarter, they got shut out by Rochester, 7-0, and that's the difference in the game. Paul Gait has not played the whole second half. Now he wants to get possession. You saw during that break, Sal LoCascio coming over to Vinnie Pfeifer and say, you want to pull me. He said, we got to make up 5 goals. Vinnie was reluctant to do it. Sal's saying, we got to make up 5 goals. So he wants to come out of the goal to give his team an advantage, a 6-on-5 advantage, even though it's a risk. LoCascio feels you got to take it. Chad Smith back door, pipe. Another pipe shot. They've had a couple of those. That was Darren Lowe, rookie, number 11. They've had 4 pipe shots. Tony Millen's been running all day. And Quinn, I suspect Tony wants to keep running.
Tony, you're looking like you're just getting your second win. You guys, at a game like this last year, you might have thrown in the towel. You guys not quitting this year, are you?
No, well, see, we have a new attitude this year, and I think it's showing a little bit. We're just not letting up, and you can see good things. I mean, if it works out that we don't win this game today, you'll see things from us later on in the season that really prove our new attitude about things.
Tony Millen, he can play another game after this one, Lee.
Well, Q, he's the only guy you've talked to that wasn't huffing and puffing. I know he's in tremendous shape. He doesn't mind running every run. Benedict. LoCascio cuts it down. 5 minutes left. A 5-goal lead. If New York scores here, they are going to be charging at Rochester. Rochester trying to hold them off. But they have really controlled the late stages of the game. New York has scored 3 of the last 4. Here comes Benedict. He can't stop it over the shoulder of LoCascio. They maintain possession with a fresh shot clock. Here comes New York. Borges. Haven't heard a lot from him. He's the one they're counting on to score. Tony Millen, we just heard from him. He brings it down. And Chugger makes the big save. One more pass by Seremet would have made it tough on Steve Dietrich. They had 3 on 2, but Dietrich had a bead on Seremet.
No.
Matt Ryder's had a couple of huge goals. He's gone back out in the field. Christy Lee is on that sideline. Just missed her interview with him.
All right, Rochester, your volume level's a little low right now. How about picking it up a little bit?
He's one of those players that has really extended himself and been opportunistic. He's a great shooter. Rochester trying to burn up time, keep the ball out of New York's hands. They've got the lead. They just need to use the clock. It's tough to do in the major indoor lacrosse league. You've got a shot clock, plus you've got to clear the ball within 10 seconds. New rule this year. There's Tony Millen. That boy is fit, folks. So is Coach Pfeifer.
Good job, guys. Good job. It'll fall.
Vinnie Pfeifer controlling. Panetta with a big right-handed shot. It bounces off of Duane Jacobs. He's way out in front. Jacobs is in the fast break. Collects it. 1-on-1. Jacobs, LoCascio, rope. As soon as the shot went, Jacobs took off. Now Dietrich looks up. Jacobs is already halfway up the field. He launches it up. Here he goes. Now he checks the defensive following. He knows he's got one shot, one fake, and then just sticks it home. Jacobs, hat trick on the night. Dietrich with the assist. That one will make it tough. 6-goal lead, 17-11. Jacobs with Christy Lee.
Duane Jacobs, a hat trick. Paul Gait out of the game. You guys are not giving up.
No, we're not. Actually, we kind of let down in this last period. We let them get back into the game. Right now, we just got to concentrate on our own end first and work from there, because that's where we have all our success.
Did you have visions of that championship game when you let the lead get away?
No, not really. Last year was last year, you know. This year's a brand new year. We got a bunch of goals to set, so You know, last year has nothing to do with anything.
You're ahead by 6. It's a comfortable lead with just 3 minutes left. Duane Jacobs.
And Christy Lee, they really look much more comfortable without Paul Gait. He hasn't played the whole half. Last year, they sort of fell apart, didn't quite know what to do. They lost their big left-hander and left him very short on the left-handed side. I've talked about this before, but it's worth mentioning again that Barry Powless in the offseason readjusted his team, made him strong on the left side, so that when Paul Gait goes down with that back injury that he might have bothering him for the full season, they are not hurting on the left side. They stick another great shooter over there, and they hardly notice the difference. Timmy Soudan. He was an All-Pro 2 years ago when he came from Boston. He made All-Pro with only 4 games out of an 8-game season. He had such a tremendous year. Benedict, great shooter, loves the left down low. And now Lyons, the veteran, will just slow things down, use the clock, 2:16 left. This one's all over for New York, who has really changed their whole look. Lyons, big save, LoCascio. Rochester lost the championship last year as an expansion team. They lost the championship to Philadelphia in an overtime. 1 goal by Gary Gait, Paul's brother. Identical twins. If you haven't seen them in action, those two, as you saw Paul tonight, are special in a league of their own. Next week, you'll get a chance to see Gary Gait, the league MVP of last year. A minute and a half left. Reggie Thorpe, the tough defender, down the Lions. This team definitely looks improved, as does New York. They will be coming together. They've got a tough schedule. They play Rochester twice, Deerfield Park. Shovel. Soudan. Actually, it was Driscoll trying to pull down the far side.
Timeout!
6-goal lead for the Rochester Knighthawks. They look to be in control. When we come back, the closing moments of the home opener. Steve Dietrich's been part of the story tonight. He was huge. Second quarter, he shut out the team from New York when he needed to, as they really cranked up the offense. Park trying to get it past LoCascio. With Dietrich shutting the door in the second quarter, his team scored 7 goals, and that's what gave them the 12-6 lead at the half. And that 6-goal lead holds right now. So the home opener will be a success in Rochester. Less than a minute to go. Saw Vinnie Pfeifer on the sideline and that whole team as they talk to Quint. They are not down about this at all. They are readjusting their team. They're doing a lot of things right. This team is on the rise, the New York squad. They had a sensational first quarter, and they had 2 guys go down. Don't forget Charlie Lockwood, their leading scorer, down with an injury. McEntee, another one of their leading scorers, down with an injury. So you take away 2 scorers from a team that doesn't score a lot, it's trouble. And here's trouble again with Driscoll looking for Broke, but he can't get it because LoCascio makes the big stop. Final shot of the game, and Chugger makes the big save. Another one there. That'll do it as the clock winds down to 0. 6-goal lead. Rochester loves it. That'll do it. The Knighthawks win their home opener and go 1-0 into the 96 season.
Dietrich played very well.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, our Bud Light MVP. Tonight's major indoor lacrosse league game of the week on ESPN2 is brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the... Tonight's major indoor lacrosse league game of the week on ESPN2 is brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. And by STX Lacrosse Equipment, the name in lacrosse sticks, equipment, and apparel.
We're back at the War Memorial. A final, the Rochester Knighthawks have defeated the New York Saints in their home opener, 17-11. A huge game for the Knighthawks. And our Bud Light MVP, goalie Steve Dietrich for the Knighthawks. Steve, congratulations, a wonderful game.
Thanks, Christy. We came out really flat. New York came out like gangbusters, and the first quarter we had, I was really scared, and then getting the lead at halftime and seeing Gators' back flare up, I thought, oh, geez, you know, all we got to do is stay composed in the second half and we'll be okay, and we did.
You had a huge second quarter.
Well, the team really settled down. We had a bad start, and I dug them a big hole, and luckily Paul's on our team because he dug us out, and, you know, basically we tightened up on defense.
You had the outlet pass to Duane Jacobs. Talk a little bit about the loss of the weight, the loss of the padding, your stick skills a little differently.
Well, I've taken a lot of flack over the last 2 years about wearing too much pads, so I thought I'd lose a little bit of weight over the summer. Try and take a little bit of weight off and take some pads off and work on my stick, and luckily it looked good tonight, but I'm sure next week or the week after you guys will see a bad pass.
Bud Light MVP Steve Dietrich almost won the championship last year, off to a great start in '96. Congratulations.
Thanks, Christy.
All right, Leaf, it's up to you to wrap things up for us from the War Memorial.
Well, the crowd here very happy. They start their season 1-0, and what a night. The second quarter, as you talked about, Christy, was the whole game. 7 unanswered goals, and they will advance 1-0. They play New York again next week. But for us, it's the Buffalo Bandits and the Philadelphia Wings. Mill MVP Gary Gait and the defending champion Philadelphia Wings will take on Dowling and the Bandits. For Christy Lee and Quentin Kesenick, I'm Leif Ellsbury. Thanks for joining us. Once again, the final. The Knighthawks win their home opener 17-11.